Well folks, welcome to the video where we are going to reassemble the main bearing section of the Penn beach caster. This is one of a series of videos. There should be 4 in total, so look out for them. So just a word about the bearings. These are the bearings that came off the reel, and if you run these through your fingers, most of these actually are pretty smooth and they're not too bad. Although they do, you can see there's a little bit of scarring on them, which is always a bad sign really, but that particular one is like a bag of nails. So that needs replacing. In fact, you can see it just caught on something there, which is not very good. And this one actually isn't brilliant. No, look at it. So now then, you might think that, oh, we've got to get parts from Penn and it'll cost a fortune, and Penn probably will charge you sort of 20 quid each bearing or something like that. I'm not really sure what they charge, but it's probably quite a lot. But essentially, if you look on these little bearings, there's a little number 689Z. As you can see here, right, if you go into eBay and put in 689Z bearing, you will get a number of companies selling bearings, and some of them are branded goods and some of them are not. These are branded goods as it happens, so they're still a good quality bearing if they're branded goods, but they're not Penn branded goods. And these are brand new, and these are from eBay, and they are about £1 or 2 each, which is actually what they should cost. So you might think that's cheap, but actually it's not cheap. It's about what bearings should cost, and when you buy them from Penn, they're making a lot of money out of you. So I was just going to show you how they fit. There are 3 of these in the reel. There is one on the main stem, backing up the drum and the main cog, and there are some 2, one either side for the handle. So there is essentially nothing to fit in these. They are just a press fit. So you just push them in like so, and push them right back till they're flat up against the bulkhead. And the other one on the other side fits pretty much the same way. There is one more of these bearings on the power cog, and we'll probably do that next. Okay, so a reassembly of the main bearing. Right, the main bearing goes in here. So you are going to need the brass shaft, the bearing, and this is a new one by the way. You're going to need this chrome piece, and this one's got a bit of scarring on the inside, which means that it may have been sitting for a while without any oil in it, which is not good. So we'll probably get a replacement one of those. You need the fixing plate, the central piece which goes inside here, and you've got 6 rollers, and you've got 3 screws for the fixing plate and 2 slightly longer ones to fix the bearings down, and there's also a washer that you need. Okay, so as you saw slightly earlier in the video, this goes through and it locates inside there, that little post there, and the bearing should be a fairly tight fit. So you can see there are 2 screw holes, there's one there and one there, and the 2 slightly longer screws here, and I'll just show you one of these. They go into there, and they've got quite a flat face on them. So just get this in focus, you need to screw those down so that they are gently firm. Okay, now remember, it's a plastic casing, don't overdo it, you could ruin it. So you should have just a tiny little bit of play, about ½ mil, something like that, with a new bearing, and you can see it moving up and down there, and it's all working properly. So the next thing to do is to assemble the ratchet, which is what we're going to do now. Okay, so the first thing to do is get the tip of a screwdriver and just put some grease into the base of the recesses. The rollers have to be inserted from the inside, and you don't want them falling out again, so the grease just sticks them down. Don't forget to put that little spring on. Now there is a little bit of scarring on these rollers, so which probably means that it could do with a new part really. But the point of this video is to show you how it's done rather than getting new parts, but we will. There you go. So you can see they do loll about quite a bit. Okay, so I then insert that into there, and this then goes over the top. Okay, so once that's on, the of course I forgot the tube. Okay, so once that's on, that pretty much stops the rollers from falling about. Reassembly of the switch, which gives you the anti-reverse. So you need this little screw here. This is the flip handle, and you need that little spring. Okay, so you start off by inserting it, and you notice that this has to go on before the ratchet mechanism, or sorry, the anti-reverse mechanism, which is as it happens not a ratchet in this case, but it's silent. So that sits there like that, and then this goes on the other end. Okay, and the screw goes onto it. Okay, so this is not quite so obvious, but you essentially have to fit this spring on here. Now what you can't really see very well, even without the camera actually, is there's a little slot there where the spring sits into the one here, which you can see. So if I just hold it, give you an idea. There you go, one end should go into that slot. Now that is a tricky part. You can see how it's installed there. One end goes into a hole in the housing, and the other end goes into the slot here. And if you manipulate the lever, that's what it does. So that is pretty tricky to install, so bear that in mind. Going into there, so it goes down like so. So the inside of that steel sleeve has a flatted piece on it, so you have to get it onto the flatted brass shaft. And the plastic piece goes into the insert in the case. You can just see that from the side there. The spring then goes over this nub, I think. That'll be next. So before you put it on, there is a washer, and then the plate goes on over the top. Okay, so when it's done, and you put the this back over, essentially it should look like this, and it goes one way but it won't reverse, and then when you turn the lever, ka-dunk, it should go both ways, so you can set the bottom. There you go, and that's how it is installed pretty much. So remember, before you do the sequence where we insert the bearing, remember to put this in first, because it goes underneath, okay? The plate locates with this little nub just there, and then the screws go on it. And that's what it looks like when it's on. Well, that brings us to the end of reassembling the main bearing section of the Penn Beachcaster, or Surfmaster as it's called. There will be another 2 videos after this. Look out for them. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.